Welcome back, guys, to another new episode of Get Through Show, your favorite YouTube show. And it's summertime here in Western Cape, Cape Town, and we bring you good tidings to hold you up till New Year, because it's season time. Today's topic is it selfish not to have kids? Is it selfish not to have kids? I have amazing people, you already know. See you in a jiffy. All right, guys, you already know the topic. Is it selfish not to have kids? On my left-hand side, I have your lady Aisha. I used to call her Yoli. Yoli, you're welcome. You're looking beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
And on my right-hand side, I have your young Mandela Ori. Guys, this have been a topic out there. Some people don't want to have kids even when they got married. I don't know if I can say some people are not ready yet, or there is a particular reason why they don't want a child. I'll start from Ori. Ori, what do you have to say about this topic?
Well, as an African man, because I'm going to be using my perspective as my culture.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go away from my culture. I'm being raised, like, in our language, they say something like, your father born you or your parent born you, you must also have children.
Someone, yeah.
So, like, if medically you don't have issue, you underline that. Medically, there are people that, okay, medically she can't have a baby, you can't do this. Fine. No issue.
Yeah.
But you decided, like, okay, so that means, I feel like that person doesn't want to take responsibility.
You think so?
Yes, because having kids is a whole lot, bruh.
Yeah, I know. So,
It's a whole lot.
But whomsoever you're talking about, does it mean he or she is selfish?
Very selfish to me. Very selfish. You must have someone that you pour the love, you look after, you care for. Now it's not extended family anymore. This is your own blood that you care for, that you train to be you. Because if you have a kid, whatever you teach them, whatever you train them to be, it's whom you are. Yes, they may have their own little things they choose to be, because everybody have their own destiny, fine. But we learn from mom. So you don't do this, do that. Okay, you can be great, you inspire, you talk, you understand? So if you don't have any issue medically and you choose not to have kids, I feel like you are very selfish to me. I feel like so.
Yoli, what do you have to say about this? I know you have a child.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and if, let's say, a friend of yours, or like, I don't want to have kids, and what advice, or what, not even advice, what can you say about that?
Well, I think for me, it's very, I think choosing to have kids or not, it's a very personal thing, right? So we have to also respect that boundary in what people choose to do personally with their lives. I think one of the things that we've grown up with, or we've seen that come to change and evolve, is that people have the power to choice, or the power to make what they feel is best for them, and no outsider has the right to cross that boundary, right, on what people feel or choose for themselves. But also, if I had a friend and they chose to do that, like Ori said, it relates with you how you want to relate with things. He relates with it culturally, and he believes culturally. That's what they believe, and that's Ori's belief. So based on Ori's advice, he would say to another person, if you've got a strong cultural belief in culture, this is what we have known as Africans to do, or this is what we've known in my particular culture, whatever culture it belongs to, this is what we've known to do. So having kids is actually a healthy thing, and it's seen to be a positive thing. And it is how you choose to relate. If you don't want to relate to it culturally, then you have to question yourself, what do I feel spiritually, right? Then you maybe give that advice to somebody who grounds themselves. Let's say, for example, let's look at Dave. Dave responds in his lifestyle is linked to his spiritual belief, right? And that person, you quote for them. You said, well, in the Bible, biblically, it says that you guys should grow and multiply. So if you pride yourself in that lifestyle, then you should question yourself, how do I resonate with it in a spiritual level? Do I think spiritually it's a good thing to men? If you are governed by the Bible, then unfortunately the Bible says that you should grow and multiply. It's what God has intended for the earth. And if you are governed by the fact that you want to live your life freely, you are a free person, you believe in the power of the universe and the spirit and whatever flows and choice and everything, then you follow that. If your spirit or your universe or whatever you believe in or grounds you feels that you don't want the responsibility to have kids, by all means, that is a choice to you. So for me, I'm very open to things like that. I feel like it resonates with people individually and it's a personal thing. Therefore, I cannot say that person is selfish. I can't make that comment, unfortunately. It is not my place, I believe, to say whether they're selfish or not. It depends what grounds them as a person. For me personally, what grounds me, it's the same thing as it's the same thing as Ori. It's culture, and culturally we believe that you should have kids if you are able to have kids. You should look forward to a family. Once you have that family, your intention is to grow your family. So I've never actually thought outside, is it a choice? Do I want to have kids? Do I not want to have kids? I've never thought in that angle. But for somebody else, it's probably completely different from me. And therefore, as an individual, I support whatever decision they make. Hence, I can't tell you whether they're being selfish or not.
I think you just answered me in a diplomatic way because you don't want to, because the question is the person selfish? But at the end of the day, I do got your point, right?
Yeah.
But now, when you think about that, when you say it's what they decide like individually, right?
Yes. So okay, if you don't want me to, if you don't want me to answer you in a diplomatic way, I feel they're not being selfish.
Okay, but now here is the thing.
Yes.
Ori did mention if maybe there's something medical about such person, like you get what I mean. That's number one. That's a side.
Yes.
But I've come across people that said they don't wanna. I don't wanna have a child. Like I don't feel like it. Right. My question is why. You know. Now, when you ask why, the answer that you get is not easy to groom a child. It's not easy to take care of a child. But at the end of the day, I say to such people that it's stages. There's stages of life. You get what I mean? I felt like you're not in that stage yet to have or to grow a child, right? So you think in your own mindset, you were like, you've seen how difficult it is to some other people, and then you felt like you can go through that. And remember, there's some people that they're not good. They're not good with, they're not even good in vibing with kids. So some of them, it affects them. They were like, I don't want to, if it's like this, I don't want to have a child. Do you get what I mean?
There's people that I know that like, when you ask them, why wouldn't you want to have kids? And then they're like, no, I just want to enjoy my life to the fully. I don't want that responsibility.
But you just heard what I said now. I think it's stages of life. They've got to that point whereby they still want to be alone. They don't want something to set them back.
They can still tell you that I never want to have a child, regardless what stage I'm in. When I grow old, I want to grow old alone and with my partner, and I'm content with that.
Let's take this to another direction, right? Let's say, as a woman, you got married. You married, and could you be polite to say to your husband, I don't want a child? I don't know if you get my point.
I think before marriage they might have discussed it.
But now, yes, but now come to think of that, how me as a husband who listen to my woman telling me she's not gonna have a child because she don't want, not like she's having a problem medically.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean it's.
Well, the sad thing, what we can think about is that the sad thing that you get couples, or like we were just saying now, it's discussions you should have before marriage.
Yes.
Like sometimes you get couples where they wanted to have kids going into the marriage. That's what they will. That's what they wanted. But when they got married and then time went by, they grew maybe out of that. You get people that change their minds or they grow out of something. then they realize, actually, you know what I thought before we got married is not what I think now. You know, that's now you're stuck with the real situation there. And that's where we then pick into things of selfishness, you know, because you're not now, you are not one anymore. You don't make decisions like that because you've made that vow to be together, you know. And that's when maybe then I feel we can scrutinize it in that sense, where we can talk about the fact that the other person is being insensitive, because you can't now make that decision after you've decided to unite. Because now once you cross that bridge of marriage, you're not only making decisions for you, but you're making decisions for the both of you. In that aspect, then I can then say that that person is being selfish.
Well, in actual sense, in my own belief as well, right? We do believe, like, hence you already out to this world. You owe that to yourself to have, let me not say an heir, that will be there for your family or whatsoever, but where I'm coming from, same like what Ori just said, my belief and where I'm coming from, it's like a taboo if you ever mention that you don't want a child. Do you get what I mean? They will check you spiritually and physically if you're okay. If you're okay, because at the end of the day, it's someone that gave birth to you. Do you get what I mean? So and it happens most especially when maybe two couples are having issues. You find out that families, they're so concerned about that. So imagine now if they hear that these two couples are okay, but they just don't want to have it. You get what I mean? Your mother will even be asking you, what is happening? What is going on? This is how many years of marriage? You get what I mean? So despite the fact that it's not a medical issue, it's a problem. Like where I'm coming from. Do you get what I mean? So, but like you did mention a path where you said that you don't blame people that don't want. It's their own personal belief and it's their choice.
Yeah.
But I felt like it's actually not okay from where I'm coming from. So I don't know which background, whosoever that doesn't want to have a child.
I think also like in topics, in discussions and topics like that, I feel my personal opinion in general has always been the fact that we should stop shaping society with an expectation. You know, as much as we should set boundaries and foundation of certain things, but let us not build certain things and expect that this is the actual structure of how something is meant to look like. The foundation should always be there, but how somebody chooses to structure that foundation should be completely based on an individual. The reason we fail so much in society is because society has this mentality where they've gone past past the boundary of shaping what the foundation should be. They want to set the entire structure. Whether you follow, you don't follow into the structure, you are deemed out of society, which it does not fit with. Maybe it worked in the past. It worked for our olden days people because of also access to the things that they had. We have access to completely different things now. We shape structures and things like that with certain things. We're so advanced, you know, that someone's structure can look the same but be actually grown with two different ingredients, if I may call it, lack of a better word, because I'm not an architecture. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that let's layer the foundation and let's not set a structure on what people should follow, because that's where we then lose out on a lot of people. And that's where we often get it wrong as society. Let people shape their own lives and how they want to be, but give them a foundation and principles to ground on. Yeah, because we have really evolved and we need to get on with that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, whosoever that don't want to have a child,
in today's generation, actually, it's not even that deep. That's the whole thing. Right now, they're gonna tell you. Today's generation, they're gonna say, "Dude, that's not even that deep. If I don't want to have kids, that's my decision." It's not even.
Because I've seen people. I've seen people with dogs.
Scale it.
They don't want to.
Exactly.
Their dog is their everything.
And the sad thing is that it's a norm for society now. These days, you understand? So we can't want to box them in something. we can lay the foundation, like this is how it's actually meant to be. But it's up to you what you choose to do. And so for whatever choice you make, we don't kick you out. We don't kick you out and call you
don't
outside
have
of
to-
society.
You don't have to kick someone out of the society.
Well,
if-
we do with being
if he
judgmental.
or she,
We do with statements that we make. We kick them out. That's why people get to be depressed. That's why people commit suicide. Because at some point, we always held back to the fact that people are free to make decisions what they say. But with this judgmental society that expects people to uplive a certain way, into fall into standard.
I've been asking people why, but not like I'm being judgmental. You get what I mean? Because I want to hear your
you might not
reasons.
be- No. You might not be judgmental. I'm just saying out there, people are judgmental. People are alarmed when somebody says that I don't want to kill kids. Then the first reaction is like, what? Why?
No, but I
That's
read
wrong.
like that. I was like, why?
Exactly.
you get what I mean?
That's not how we meant to react.
My first expectation was to hear that no, I have issues medically.
Correct.
You get what I mean?
Correct.
And there's some issues someone can have, and you might advise the person to seek either medical help or spiritual
And
help.
also remember,
you know, sometimes.
remember also like what I said, like personal, right? And also sometimes people who have actually a medical condition with not being able to give birth, that's a personal thing that they suffer from. They're not willing to share it out. Now, if you want to infringe on things like that, let's say for now you see a young couple that's been married for over 9 years or 7 years and they're not having kids, and it's maybe they're struggling to have kids or maybe they can't have kids. It's a personal thing for you to infringe on that and keep on saying, why aren't you having kids? No, it's a personal struggle that they're personally dealing with.
I think that's different. Now they are married, they are not, child is not coming. It's different from someone being say, I don't want to have a child.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a child.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a child.
Correct.
So I don't want to have a child. It means you've already made up your mind saying I'm a no-go area be this. You understand? That's where my problem like that I'm.
Also, I feel like even to that person, we should respect that person's choice and we should treat it as a private thing. It's their sole. We have nothing to do with it. What are you going to do after they say they don't want to have children? What are you going to do? Nothing.
We always respect their decision, their view.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you don't have any problem medically, as for me, as an African man, with the respect the culture, if you don't have any issue medically, there's no reason. You can't give me reason.
No,
There's no reason.
the fact that you are saying you can't give me a reason, that's being judgmental. Or
No, it's not being judgmental because why? Why won't you have kids? Why?
Looking that, but it's not your place to say that you can't give me a reason. I don't owe you a reason. I don't owe you any reason. I don't owe you a reason if I don't want to have kids.
Do you understand what he
I
said?
don't understand what you know.
Person do juju muti.
Do juju ne? Means either the person use himself or herself, knowing fully well that after this, I'm not gonna have a child.
Yes.
So they will come out with their full chest to say, I don't want, not because of what they did, but now they're portraying it like they don't like kids.
Yes.
Despite what they did. Do you get what I
What
mean?
does juju mean?
Muti. You know, there's some muti that you can involve yourself with, and then it's gonna result you not to have a child.
Alright, I get
Do you get what I
you.
mean?
Okay.
So that's why he's saying either.
Oh, yes.
All right, guys, you already hear what we have to say about this topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And also, we want to read your comments, guys. Don't be left out. This is a very sensitive topic. Like, we really want to engage with you guys. It's your boy, Victor Chibuzo. We would like to see you in the next episode. Relax and enjoy your Christmas, and see you also in New Year.